Have you ever felt it? That magical moment when time just melts away? You're so completely absorbed in what you're doing that the world around you seems to fade into the background. Your worries, your to-do lists, even the sense of your own self, they all just pause. It's not about straining or forcing, it's the opposite. It feels effortless, like you're being carried by a current, moving with a grace and precision you didn't know you possessed. Maybe it happened while you were playing a sport, deep in a creative project, lost in a captivating conversation, or even tackling a challenging puzzle at work. You look up and hours have passed in what felt like minutes. You feel energized, fulfilled, and deeply satisfied. This isn't just a fleeting, lucky accident. This is a state of consciousness, a well-documented psychological phenomenon known as flow. And understanding it, truly getting it, might just be one of the keys to a more engaged, meaningful, and joyful life. The man who put flow on the map was Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. He dedicated his life to studying what he called optimal experience. He wasn't so interested in what makes us survive, but in what makes us thrive. He traveled the world, interviewing artists, athletes, scientists, musicians, and everyday people, all in search of the answer to a fundamental question: what makes a life worth living? And time again he found people describing this very state, this flow. He discovered that flow isn't about relaxation or passive pleasure. It's not about zoning out in front of the TV. It's actually found most often when you're actively engaged in a task that pushes you, that challenges your skills right to the edge, but not beyond them. It's this delicate, beautiful balance between the challenge you're facing and your ability to meet it. Think of a rock climber scaling a cliff face. Every move demands complete concentration. The challenge is immense, but their skills are honed to match it. They aren't thinking about their mortgage or what's for dinner. They are only the climb. That's flow. Csikszentmihalyi identified several key conditions and characteristics of this state. First, there needs to be a clear set of goals and progress. You need to know what you're trying to achieve, even if it's just the next note, the next brushstroke, or the next line of code. It's not about some grand, distant future goal, but the immediate, tangible objective right in front of you. This clarity gives your actions direction and purpose, allowing you to focus your energy effectively. Without knowing where you're going, how can you possibly get lost in the journey? It's like trying to navigate a river without a paddle or a sense of the current. You'll just drift aimlessly. And you need clear and immediate feedback. You have to be able to see in real time how you're doing. Is your shot going toward the hoop? Is the melody sounding right? Is the code compiling? This constant stream of information allows you to adjust your actions instantly, staying within that sweet spot of engagement. It's a continuous conversation between you and the task, a dance where each step informs the next. This feedback loop eliminates uncertainty and keeps you anchored in the present moment, preventing your mind from wandering off into doubt or distraction. But perhaps the most crucial element is that balance between perceived challenges and perceived skills. This is the tightrope walk of flow. If the challenge is too high for your skill level, you feel anxiety, stress, and frustration. Imagine trying to play a complex piano sonata on your very first lesson. It's overwhelming. But if the challenge is too low, you feel boredom and apathy. Playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star after years of practice won't exactly light up your brain. Flow lives right in that channel where the task demands your best, stretching you just enough, but not so much that you break. It's in this zone that growth happens, where you feel competent, effective, and fully alive. When these conditions align, something remarkable happens. You experience a merging of action and awareness. You stop thinking about doing, you simply do. The self-consciousness that so often dogs our steps, that inner critic, that voice of doubt, it vanishes. You become one with the activity. Your movements feel automatic, intuitive. It's as if the you that usually observes and judges steps aside, allowing a deeper, more capable self to take the reins. There's no room for second-guessing when you're fully immersed. This leads directly to intense and focused concentration on the present moment. Flow demands your full attention. The past and future cease to exist. All that matters is the now, this very action, this precise moment. It's a form of mindfulness, but it's not passive. It's active, dynamic, and utterly absorbing. In a world brimming with distractions, where our attention is constantly being pulled in a million directions, flow offers a sanctuary of deep, undivided focus. It's a relief, a release, a return to what's real. And when you're in this state, you often experience a loss of reflective self-consciousness. You forget yourself. The ego, with its constant needs for validation and its fears of failure, dissolves. You're too busy being to worry about how you appear. This isn't a loss of self in a negative way. It's an expansion, a transcendence. You become part of something larger than your individual concerns. It's liberating, isn't it? To let go of that heavy burden of self-awareness and just be. One of the most commonly reported side effects, and one we've already touched on, is the distortion of temporal experience. Time either seems to speed up, with hours feeling like minutes, or sometimes, in moments of intense action, it can feel like it slows down, giving you an almost supernatural clarity. This elasticity of time is a telltale sign that you've stepped outside the ordinary clock-watching world and into the timeless realm of flow. And finally, perhaps most importantly, flow-inducing activities are often autotelic. This is a word Csikszentmihalyi used, meaning the experience is intrinsically rewarding. You do it not for some external prize, not for fame or fortune or even praise, but simply for the sheer joy of doing it. The activity itself is its own reward. This is where true passion lies, in finding those pursuits that engage you so deeply that the process itself is the ultimate prize. Now, this might sound wonderfully scientific, and it is. Csikszentmihalyi gave us a language and a framework to understand this peak experience. But humanity has known about this state, described it, and sought it for millennia, long before psychology labs existed. This is where philosophy enters the picture, offering us different lenses through which to view this effortless action. Think about the ancient Taoist concept of Wu Wei. It's often translated as non-action or effortless action. It doesn't mean being lazy or passive. It means acting in harmony with the natural flow of things, with the Tao. It's about letting go of the need to control, to force, to struggle. It's about finding that path of least resistance, not out of weakness, but out of profound understanding and alignment. When you're in flow, aren't you, in a sense, practicing Wu Wei? You're not fighting the current, you're riding it. You're responding intuitively, spontaneously, without the friction of a struggling ego. You're acting with the grace of water, finding its way around obstacles without strain. Consider the Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus. They emphasized focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your responses, and accepting what you cannot. Flow demands a similar focus. You concentrate entirely on your actions within the task, letting go of worries about outcomes you can't fully dictate. The Stoics also spoke of living in accordance with nature and reason. Finding flow often means engaging in activities that feel deeply aligned with your own nature, your inherent skills and passions. There's a profound sense of rightness to it, a feeling that this is what you are meant to be doing in this moment. It's an acceptance of the present, a full engagement with it, which is the heart of Stoic practice. We can even look to Existentialism. Think of Jean-Paul Sartre or Albert Camus, who spoke of creating meaning in a seemingly meaningless universe through our choices and actions. Flow is a state where we are intensely creating. We are shaping our reality moment by moment through our focused engagement. In those moments of deep absorption, we aren't just doing, we are being. We are affirming our existence, our capabilities, our power to create order and meaning within our chosen challenge. It's a powerful antidote to feelings of absurdity or helplessness, proving through direct experience that our actions matter, that we can craft moments of profound significance. And what about Zen Buddhism? The archer who becomes one with the bow, the arrow, and the target, the calligrapher whose brush moves with unthinking precision. Zen emphasizes mindfulness, presence, and the dissolution of the ego, all core components of flow. The pursuit of satori, or enlightenment, often involves practices designed to quiet the chattering mind and allow for a more direct, unmediated experience of reality. Flow, in many ways, is a taste of this state, a moment of pure presence, unburdened by the illusions of the self. So, flow isn't just a psychological trick for productivity. It's a deep-seated human need, a bridge between our scientific understanding of the mind and our ancient philosophical quest for meaning, purpose, and connection. It's where our skills meet challenge, where action meets awareness, and where the self meets the universe. But how do we find more of it? How do we invite this state into our lives, not just by chance, but by design? It starts with understanding yourself. What activities naturally capture your attention? Where do your skills lie? What challenges genuinely excite you rather than intimidate or bore you? It might be gardening, coding, cooking, writing, playing music, dancing, running, building something, or even engaging in deep, meaningful work. You need to identify your potential flow triggers. Then, you need to structure these activities to meet those conditions we talked about. Set clear goals. Break down large tasks into smaller, manageable steps. If you want to write a book, start with the goal of writing 1 page or even 1 paragraph. Make it specific and achievable. Ensure you get immediate feedback. If you're learning an instrument, record yourself and listen back. If you're working on a project, set up milestones to track your progress. Find ways to see the impact of your actions as quickly as possible. This helps you stay on track and make those micro-adjustments that keep you in the zone. Crucially, you must consciously manage the challenge-skill balance. Be honest with yourself. If a task feels too easy, find ways to make it harder. Set a time limit, add a constraint. Try a more complex version. If it feels too hard, step back, break it down further, seek more knowledge or practice a sub-skill. Don't be afraid to adjust the difficulty dial until you find that sweet spot, that place where you feel stretched but not overwhelmed. This requires self-awareness and a willingness to experiment. And perhaps most importantly, in our modern world, you need to eliminate distractions. Flow cannot coexist with constant interruptions. Turn off your notifications, close those extra browser tabs, find a quiet space or use noise-cancelling headphones. Create a sacred time and space dedicated solely to your chosen activity. Treat your focus as the precious resource it is. You have to actively defend your attention if you want to experience the depths of flow. Think of it like preparing a space for a cherished guest. You wouldn't invite someone over for a deep conversation only to leave the TV blaring and constantly check your phone, would you? You'd create an environment conducive to connection. Do the same for flow. Create an environment, both external and internal, that invites it in. This also means cultivating an autotelic attitude. Try to approach activities with a focus on the process, not just the outcome. Find joy in the doing, in the learning, in the struggle, and in the small victories along the way. When you release your attachment to external rewards, you free yourself up to become fully immersed in the experience itself. This shift in perspective can transform even mundane tasks into opportunities for flow. It's not about achieving a permanent state of flow that's neither possible nor desirable. We need moments of rest, reflection, and even boredom. But it is about recognizing the profound value of these experiences and intentionally creating more opportunities for them in our lives. It's about understanding that these moments of effortless action are not just about getting things done, they are about feeling truly alive. When you're in flow, you're not just performing at your best, you're being your best. You're tapping into a deep well of potential. You're experiencing a harmony between your mind, your body, and the world around you. It's a reminder that within the hustle and bustle of everyday life, within the struggles and the stresses, there exists a capacity for profound engagement, deep focus, and effortless joy. It's a state that shows us what we're capable of when we align challenge with skill, action with awareness. It's a glimpse of human potential, a testament to our innate drive to grow, to create, and to lose ourselves in something meaningful. It's the dance between science and soul, effort and ease. So I invite you to look for it. Look for those moments. Nurture them. Create the conditions for them. Where can you find your flow? What challenge is calling to you, waiting for you to rise and meet it with your full, undivided presence? The journey to unlocking flow is in itself an adventure, a path towards a more engaged, vibrant, and ultimately a more fulfilling existence. Go find your river and let yourself be carried by its current.